A truck enters a quarantine zone and gets disinfected by workers, and the driver asks what is happening and learns there is a minor leak at a biotech plant. He continues driving, but when he reaches for his phone, he hits something on the road and gets out of the car and discovers it is a deer. After checking that the car doesn't have any dents, he ignores the dead animal and drives away, but suddenly the deer comes back to life. Meanwhile, fund manager Sok Woo is at work, talking to clients on the phone about selling stocks, and he reads the news about mysterious fish deaths in a reservoir, so he tells his assistant to sell all their stocks from the related company. Afterward, he argues with his ex-wife over the phone about their daughter Soo-in, and she wants to visit her mom for her birthday tomorrow, but he doesn't want her to go alone. When he gets home, his mom opens the door, and inside Soo-in's room he catches her talking to her mom on the phone, saying she can just take the train by herself, and she quickly hangs up when she sees him. Sok Woo sits next to Soo-in and tells her to wait another week so he can take her to Busan. Then he gives her an early birthday gift and Soo-in opens it but realizes it's the same gift he gave her before. When he asks what else she wants, she says she just wants to see her mom and will go alone to not waste his time. Later, Sok Woo talks to his mom about Soo-in, and she advises him to talk things out with his wife in Busan and reminds him this is an important stage in his daughter's life. And she also leaves him a camcorder with a recording of Soo-in's recital that he missed. After watching the video, Sok Woo realizes his daughter is hurt, so he decides to take her to Busan. In the car, he talks to Soo-in about the recital, which causes him to almost hit an ambulance, and they stop and watch a blockade convoy pass by, while Soo-in notices ash falling from the sky and sees a distant fire reflected in the window. At the station, the train to Busan is about to leave and the passengers get on board. Sok Woo and Soo-in also board the train and he calls his company to say he'll be back before lunch. Right before the train departs, an injured girl runs into a carriage, and as the train moves, Soo-in sees a man attacking a station worker on the platform. The new girl has a bite on her leg, and a businessman named Yeon Suk tells a flight attendant that a strange man jumped on the train and has been in the bathroom for a while. The bitten girl stumbles and faints, but nobody notices, and Soo-in goes looking for a bathroom and meets Sang, who is guarding the door for his pregnant wife Kyung, and he tells the little girl to go to another carriage. Meanwhile, a female attendant finds the bitten girl convulsing and calls for medical help. Sok Woo gets woken up by a phone call and realizes Soo-in is gone, and his assistant reports that something terrible is happening nationwide, so he goes looking for his daughter while the passengers watch the chaos on TV. Suddenly, the bitten girl stands up, turns into a zombie and attacks the attendant. A baseball team is attacked next and soon the attendant transforms too, unleashing hell, while the chief attendant yells for the passengers in the next carriage to run. Sok Woo notices the commotion, while Soo-in hears screams as panicked people run past her, and the father witnesses the chief attendant getting attacked and transforming. Soo-in suddenly appears behind her father, and Sok Woo grabs her and runs as a horde of zombies chases them through the train. In another carriage, Sang tells his wife to leave, and a zombie bites a woman right in front of them, and when Sang tries to help he gets attacked too. Sok Woo runs into the next carriage, while Sang locks a zombie inside the bathroom and tells his wife to run, but soon more zombies arrive. The remaining passengers are still watching TV when people from other carriages rush in, and Sok Woo slams the door shut, almost catching Kyung's face, while Sang fights off a zombie. Then both of them get inside the carriage and close the door just before the monsters flood in. Sok Woo realizes the zombies don't know how to open doors and only attack when they see humans, so he tells everyone to just ignore them, and Kyung covers the door, which temporarily neutralizes the zombies. The driver announces the train won't stop at the next town, and Yeon Suk questions this via the intercom and learns it's an order from the control center. Sok Woo receives a call from his mom, who is worried and tells him to take good care of Soo-in, and during the call the woman transforms into a zombie. Sok Woo understands what happened but decides not to tell his daughter. The train slows down as it passes a station, and people outside bang on the windows begging for help, but then they get attacked by zombies right in front of the passengers. A radio broadcast reveals that violent riots have erupted in major cities, so the government has locked down key areas and declared a state of emergency. Despite the broadcast calling for calm and asking people to stay indoors, the cities are burning. The passengers block the door and move to the opposite side of the carriage, and Soo-in says she can't reach her mom, so Sok Woo makes her sit down and tries to call again. An older woman named In-gil tells her sister Jong-gil to sit next to the father and daughter, and Soo-in kindly gives up her seat to In-gil. Sang is still annoyed because Sok Woo closed the door on them earlier, and Sok Woo scolds his daughter for being too selfless, telling her she must think of herself first in this situation. The driver announces they will stop at a station guarded by the military. However, Sok-woo overhears Yeon-suk asking over the phone which city is safe, and he realizes their next stop isn't on the list. He tells Soo-in to stay put. Then he goes to another carriage to make a call. Sang asks Soo-in about her dad and calls him a bloodsucker when he learns he's a fund manager, and Soo-in agrees. So Kyung gives her some candy to ease the tension and lets the girl touch her belly to feel the baby kick. Sok-woo calls a client to ask about the upcoming city, and the man says the entire area will be quarantined, so he advises Sok-woo to go to the East Square instead of the Central one and promises to inform his people. Sok-woo also notices a homeless man on the train. When they arrive at the city where the military is supposed to be waiting, the station is empty. Yeon-suk pushes his way out first, and the others follow, including Sok-woo and the baseball team with their bats. An attendant takes the driver to see the zombie carriage and they meet Yeon-suk, who claims Busan is one of the few open cities and demands they detach the zombie carriage, but it's impossible. The driver agrees to go straight to Busan, but he wants to get the passengers back on board first. Meanwhile, the passengers spread out in the empty station. Sok-woo leads Soo-in into a blocked area to head to the East Square, and the homeless man quietly follows them. Soo-in wants to warn the others, but she is sad when her dad doesn't let her. As the rest of the passengers go down the escalator, Sang notices something is wrong in the station. At the same time, a man appears at the end of the hallway where Sok-woo and Soo-in are standing, which makes the homeless man run after him. Sok-woo tells Soo-in to stay put and runs after him too. When the other passengers reach the bottom of the escalator, they discover that all the soldiers have turned into zombies. The horde immediately attacks them, so Sang quickly pulls his wife up the stairs to escape. Sok-woo gets a call from his client, who says he can't reach his people. Suddenly, a zombie appears behind an officer and attacks him, and the homeless man slips as more zombies show up and tear the officer apart. Sok-woo runs back to Soo-in, and she is almost eaten, but Sang saves her just in time. Kyung pulls Soo-in away and the group runs for their lives, while the baseball team waits at the carriage door, gets inside, and closes it. Sok-woo struggles with a zombie, but the homeless man helps him escape and they rush toward the door. Sang opens it and holds it for Sok-woo to get in. Then everyone pushes the door tightly shut. Kyung gets close to the train and sees some passengers being slaughtered by zombies inside, and despite this they run down the stairs while passengers from the other side also rush in. Suddenly, the zombies in the station break the glass and fall straight onto the train. One zombie falls on Jong-gil, but its body is too crushed to attack her. Jong-gil is saved by an attendant and a cheerleader, and they get on the train right on time. Kyung and Soo-in pull in Gil in the opposite direction, and they also drag the homeless man into another carriage before the zombies can reach him. The zombies surround the train, so Yeon-suk urges the attendant to leave immediately. The cheerleader objects because her friends are still outside, but the attendant calls the driver to depart anyway. Meanwhile, Sang finally manages to lock the door. When the horde breaks the glass and rushes in, everyone runs after the moving train. At the bottom of the stairs, two baseball players are caught by zombies. The last player is frozen in fear, but Sok-woo pulls him up and gets him onto the train. Sang falls behind, so Sok-woo reaches his hand out, but Sang picks up a bat and a shield to block the zombies and save him. Eventually, he makes it onto the train too, and inside the cabin the driver calls the control center and is advised to continue to Busan. In another carriage, Kyung and the others are trapped between two cars full of zombies. She spots an open bathroom and signals everyone to get inside. As Kyung steps in, a zombie attacks her, so the group struggles to hold the door shut against the pushing horde. Elsewhere, passengers cover the windows while the driver announces they will go straight to Busan. The cheerleader receives a call from the surviving baseball player, who apologizes because no one else made it. At the same time, Sok-woo tries to call his daughter, but he hears Sang talking to Soo-in on the phone instead. She says they are trapped in the bathroom of car 13 and the baseball player notes the safe survivors are in car 15. The three men prepare for a rescue mission. Sang makes a plan where he goes first. The boy stays in the middle and Sok-woo covers the back. They decide to wait until the train enters a tunnel. As soon as it's dark, the zombies spot them and the trio fights back. Sang kills zombies with his bare hands. Sok-woo supports from the sides and the boy uses his bat. They work together like an invincible team. The next carriage is full of the zombified baseball players, which makes the boy freeze. Sang pushes him aside and fights the monsters alone, while Sok-woo grabs a bat to hold them off. The two men get trapped between the zombies and the boy is completely helpless. Suddenly, the train enters another tunnel and the zombies start acting weird. Sok Woo makes some noise to attract them, allowing the group to escape. However, when the train exits the tunnel, the zombies attack again. While resting between carriages, Sok Woo gets the idea to use their phones as bait. In the darkness of the next tunnel, he throws Sang's phone to the back of the car and calls it. The zombies immediately flock toward the sound, letting the group pass safely without fighting. They finally reach the bathroom and tearfully reunite. The baseball player finds another bathroom and moves everyone there during the next tunnel. Sok Woo calculates the time between tunnels and the boy texts the cheerleader in car 15, who happily shares the news with everyone. Yeon Suk is unhappy and claims they might be infected, and many passengers agree with him. The cheerleader begs the attendant to help persuade them, but the attendant sides with Yeon Suk. When the train enters a tunnel, everyone crawls out of the bathroom and climbs over the overhead luggage racks. Sok Woo distracts the zombies, giving the group a chance to climb down and move to the next carriage. The homeless man slips, so Sok Woo turns back to help him, causing them both to get trapped when the train leaves the tunnel. Sok Woo counts down to run, but the homeless man accidentally steps on a soda can and makes a loud noise. Despite this, they manage to dash through the door and Sang holds it shut against a stuck zombie. The baseball player calls the people in the other car, but the door is locked. The passengers in car 15 refuse to let the girl tell them. Sok Woo helps Sang hold the door and the player tries to break the other one. Suddenly, a zombie manages to bite Sang. They finally break the door to the next car, but Yeon Suk holds it tightly shut. When the others try to help open it, Jong Gil and the cheerleader resist from the inside. Kyung steps toward her husband, but Sang tells her to stay away and asks Sok Woo to take her. He begs Sok Woo to take care of his wife, and Sok Woo apologizes to him. When the door shatters, Sang stays behind to hold off the zombies so everyone can retreat. The remaining survivors get into the car. Sok Woo pulls his daughter and Kyung along, but he can't save In Gil. He closes the door and immediately attacks Yeon Suk, calling him a bastard. Yeon Suk falsely claims that Sok Woo is infected, so the attendant asks them to move to the vestibule between the cars. The passengers of car 15 kick them out. The homeless man goes first and the cheerleader decides to follow the baseball player because she doesn't want to stay. Kyung tells Soo-in to leave and Sok Woo follows. The cruel passengers then lock them inside the vestibule. Jong Gil looks through the glass and sees her zombified sister on the other side, so she decides to open the door. Before anyone can stop her, the zombies flood car 15 and attack all the passengers. Meanwhile, the driver calls the control center to ask about Busan but gets no response, only seeing massive fires burning in the city. Sok Woo finally gets to talk to his daughter and promises to take her to see her mom for her birthday. He also gets a call from his assistant, who reveals that Busan has the best defense system and that the virus actually started from one of their company's projects. The train suddenly hits the brakes because there is a blockade on the tracks. The driver announces he will find another train to take the survivors to Busan. Yeon Suk and the attendant also survived the attack. The driver checks the first train he finds, but it's full of zombies, so he keeps looking until he finds an empty locomotive to drive. Meanwhile, Yeon Suk and the attendant are trapped in a bathroom. Yeon Suk tells the attendant to go first, but then he pushes the poor man into the zombies to escape himself. A flaming train car crashes straight into the survivors' train, separating the group. The baseball player gets the cheerleader into a carriage. While he tries to break a door, Yeon Suk suddenly appears and sacrifices the girl to escape, leaving the boy to face the zombies. The boy manages to kill a zombie, but the girl transforms in his arms and bites him. Soo-in wakes Sok Woo up. Kyung and the homeless man are trapped under a carriage full of zombies. Yeon Suk runs toward the moving locomotive. The driver tries to help him, but he selfishly abandons the old man. The train car continues to collapse, but Sok Woo finds a way out. When he tries to pull the others through, the gap suddenly closes. Zombies break the train windows and the homeless man bravely blocks them to protect the women. Sok Woo reopens the gap and pulls Soo-in and Kyung out, leaving the homeless man behind. Kyung and Soo-in run away, chasing the moving train. A massive horde of zombies from the station rushes toward them, piling up on each other. The three survivors manage to get on the train, but several zombies grab onto the back. Sok Woo uses all his strength to kick them off and succeeds. They find the driver's cabin, but only Yeon Suk is inside and he is transforming. He manages to open the door and Sok Woo warns the others that he is infected. When his transformation completes, Yeon Suk attacks them. Sok Woo fights him, and Kyung pulls the zombie off Sok Woo's back but gets bitten. Sok Woo chains himself in the cabin and throws Yeon Suk off the train. He realizes he has also been bitten, so before he transforms, he brings Soo-in and Kyung into the cabin and teaches them how to break the train. He tells Soo-in to stay with Kyung and get to safety. Soo-in cries and refuses to let him go, but Sok-woo removes her hands and steps out of the cabin as the transformation begins, leaving his daughter crying behind. Right before he completely turns into a zombie, he remembers the moment Soo-in was born and jumps off the train. Later, Kyung and Soo-in are forced to stop because the tracks are blocked by a barricade. They leave the train and walk through the debris and dead bodies, entering a dark tunnel. At the other end, the military is waiting for them. A sniper aims at them but can't tell if they are infected, so he receives the order to shoot. Just in time, Soo-in starts singing her recital song. The soldiers immediately realize they are survivors approaching, and the movie ends.